the Zombies have been working with James Blake, and you recently released a song with them called Parkour.
For
How
sure.
did how did that relationship come to be?
Bro, I've known him. I moved to LA 4 years ago. Um, bro, I've been a fan of James Blake since, bro, like I told him this recently. I was like, man, you've done some amazing shit. I really got into dubstep when I used to go to I used to go to like these parties in Williamsburg when I was in college, and me and my friend, actually my friend Sam, he's my DJ at the time. We were really into all that shit, Starkey and like fucking like bro, like Mux Mool, and there's a really like interesting scene that was going on in Brooklyn where people were making these beats that were like off time
Mm-hmm.
with these crazy synths, and that's when I discovered James Blake. And James Blake at the time was making shit like that, you know. So when I would hear what he formed into, where he was more vocalizing and using his voice as chops with dubstep, and then actually his most recent album, I think he's getting back to kind of the grassroots that made him, which is so funny because some people's like this is different. I'm like this is actually just vintage James Blake. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's something else.
Have you listened to it yet?
I did. It's sick.
I've only listened to a
And
few. I haven't listened to it completely front to back, but I need to. I like Big Hammer so far, but I
Big Hammer is crazy.
yeah.
Like and some people, like he said, he's like, people wouldn't understand this if they just jumped on this journey. But I think what he's done um, allows him to have the freedom to do shit like that because people respect him so much now. And I think that he's been making quality music for such a long time that what he touches, people know literally is like certified, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So all these things were things that I was aware before I even met this man, you know what I'm saying? And I think he had done an interview or something, and one of my friends had said he mentioned me in an interview, and he said that I was one of his favorite producers, and
Damn.
I was like, bro, like what? I think like I have to hit him up. Like I don't. Let me just hit him up, and I hit him up, and he responded, and he's like, yeah, cool, that worked. Like I'm glad that we got to connect through using the internet and shit, but like let's make some music, and his friendship really started from a song that we made without even knowing each other, and we never released it. But I had made the beat, him and I worked on it, and actually when I met him, I had a hernia that I had to have surgery on. And I met him. I was actually in a wheelchair. I was finishing our tour. It was horrible,
Damn.
and he was just like so like such a sweet guy, you know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, like I hope you feel better. And this is the first time me meeting him. So I was like, bro, like I feel like I'm banged up, but like I'm gonna be right and we're gonna get this music going. And I would say maybe like the year after I met him, I had started to come out to LA a lot and we started cooking up. And it's actually a couple of tracks that we had did that are gonna be on my new album from when I met him almost 5 years ago. So you could see kind of that like I think that when you make something timeless, especially built on real friendship
Mm-hmm.
and harmony, these things don't date, and I don't say shit that's relevant to the point where like sometimes you say something that may capsize your idea because you said something that's so trendy that you can't get out of it. It's like,
I randomly think of
you know,
Young Jeezy's song "My President Is Black" about Barack Obama. I feel like that's a very specific example of a time capsule song.
like yeah, we know that. Like we know what year that song was made now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes I think when especially music that you don't put out, it can hurt you because artists are our own worst critics and shit.
Yeah.
Because we'll be like, "Oh, that's old. That's old." Like I'm like, this shit that I do with him that's so old, but it don't matter. Like it's a vibe. It doesn't. It's on a frequency that is timeless, and I think that having longevity is what you really want as an artist. Even if a song doesn't immediately skyrocket, it's because of the ability that it can actually last longer than just a month or have a hot season or a hot summer. You know what I'm saying? We talking about music that we want to last forever. I think that his music does that, and it just
Mm-hmm.
made sense that both of us unified and became like this clique, But I started working with him, and I worked with Don Maker from Mount Kimby as well, and
Nice.
we would cook up all the time, bro. Like, and that's before I moved to LA. So once I moved out here, it was game over, bro. It was like constantly creating and sharing ideas. He actually made me feel comfortable that I don't have to produce as much as I was. You know, that shit was, as much as I love to do it, it was very taxing. And
Mm.
to try to prove that I could rap and songwrite was another goal of mine. And he allowed me to show that I'm really a multifaceted artist. I'm not a rapper, a producer that raps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm the architect. I had to really tap into someone who does it all and not just what people see from me, you know?
That's awesome when you can connect with an artist that like wants to see you grow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.